Today we're talking about 5 things you won't find in my house and why. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Happy that you're here today. This video is all because we won a basket raffle a few weeks ago. And in this basket raffle were some really fun outdoor toys for the boys for the summer. There was some bubbles, there was this bubble machine, there was a beach towel, and I don't remember what else, maybe some snacks. But there also happened to be 2 Gatorade Zeros in there. And I was like, oh, well, what are we gonna do with those? And the boys were like, oh, well, let's put those aside. We don't drink Gatorade in my house. We especially aren't gonna drink Gatorade Zero because we don't drink or eat anything that has fake sugars in it. And this one, if I'm thinking of it properly, has sucralose in it. Yuck, I don't really want that. I mean, anything that's got any of the sucralose, the aspartame, any of that, we don't do, right? It's toxic for us. I don't want anything to do with it. In fact, studies have shown that people who drink diet sodas are more likely to get diabetes than those who drink regular soda. And I think it is mainly because those fake sugars trick our brains, right? They're like, wait, this tastes sweet, but I'm not registering anything. There's 0 calories for a reason. It's because your body doesn't know how to assimilate or use them, right? It just, hopefully they go through them. But some people can get toxicity from having some of those fake sugars. So in general, we avoid fake sugars in my house. So you're not gonna find Gatorade in my house, like I said, because it's got a lot of crappy ingredients, fake colorings, just not what we're looking for. Not gonna find the Gatorade Zeros in my house or anything else with those fake sugars. What you will find in my house instead, I've talked about these before, you'll find more of this sort of thing. You'll find more of an element, a more natural alternative. You might also find coconut water in our house if we need to do some hydrating. My husband has been known to drink a lot of coconut water on the water when he's fishing tournaments, especially when it's really hot down in those southland. You know, if it's 90, 100 degrees and he's on the water for 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 hours a day. Coconut water is fantastic. And even better than the Gatorades, if you're looking for hydration, if anything, if nothing else, the very least, just drink water and then eat some pink Himalayan salt with it. Another thing you're not gonna find in my house, and I want to, whenever I see people putting this into their cart, I just wanna go over and be like, don't eat that, it's killing you, right? And that's margarine. Margarine is full of trans fats. It's not even a real food. If you leave it out on a deck, no animal will bother it. It will not melt. It will just stay there because it's not real. Back in the 80s and 90s, we were sold a bill of goods that margarine was the way to go, that butter was evil, saturated fat was terrible, and we now know that that is not the case. In fact, saturated fat can in some instances, in many instances, be very healthy for us. Way more than the trans fats that are found in margarine. So what do we find in my house? I just took this out of the freezer, so it might look a little funky, but we eat a lot of Kerrygold butter in my house. This you can get at any grocery store. You can also get it at Costco, so it's a little bit more cost effective if you do that. But Kerrygold butter is made with grass-fed, grass-finished cows and is going to be much healthier for you, especially than margarine. But even this is healthier than even some of the just straight butters that you can get, you know, the Roundy's brand or the Kroger's brand or whatever it might be, because of the milk that's made to use the finished product. So this tastes delicious. We use this on my sourdough bread, when we're making grilled cheeses, when we are putting some butter on noodles, whatever it might be. This is our go-to. Another thing you're not gonna find in my house is low-fat yogurt, like the Yoplait, or maybe not even the low-fat, but they're like the Noosa, I think is another brand. Please start reading ingredients and labels. You will find if you look at some of those, they have very little protein and a ton of sugar. In some of those yogurts, you can get as much as a can of soda's worth of sugar in them. And I don't know, that just isn't what I'm looking for. If I'm gonna be eating a food to fuel my body and I want to feel as healthy as possible, I don't want a load of sugar. I want more protein and more high quality ingredients. So you're not gonna find crappy yogurt in our refrigerator. What you will find though is Siggy's brand. We eat this one a lot. I like this one. This one is a lower fat, so it's made with skim milk. The one that I feed the boys is made with whole milk. It's a different brand, but it's made with whole milk, and it is just straight Greek yogurt, lots of protein, I think 15 to 19 grams of protein per serving, very little sugar. In fact, if we're eating that, we are sweetening it with some maple syrup. So you're not going to find crappy yogurt in our house. You're going to find high quality, higher protein yogurts. Another thing you're not going to find in our house, and I don't have an example of this one other than to tell you, don't eat tilapia. Tilapia, my video that just came out on Monday, was all about the omega-6 to 3 balance. And in that video, I talked about eating oily fish in terms of being healthy and balancing out that omega ratio. Tilapia is one of those situations and those circumstances where you don't want to eat it to help balance out that omega-6 to 3 ratio. Why? Because tilapia is extraordinarily high in omega-6 fatty acids. Tilapia is many times farm raised and it's fed a diet primarily corn, so then that increases its rate of omega, and it's a very high converter into those omega-6s, and so then when you eat it, you get even more omega-6 fatty acids. So we don't have tilapia in our house. In fact, we don't eat a whole lot of fish, but when we do eat fish, it's wild caught, salmon a lot of times if we have anything of that nature. And we live in Wisconsin, so every once in a while Hank wants to go out for a fish fry. That's a misnomer. It's not necessarily healthy, but sometimes you just gotta live a little bit. The last one that we don't have in my house, you will not find a product like Tide or Cheer, those really, really fragranced laundry detergents. Not gonna find them in my house. First of all, I don't like overly fragranced things. I'll do another video sometime on fragrance, but fragrance is really, really toxic to our bodies and to our endocrine system. They're endocrine disruptors. And so we avoid excess fragrance whenever possible, especially when it's a non-natural fragrance. If it's an essential oil, that's a different thing. But with laundry detergents, I also don't want the bad ingredients. I mean, I know some of you out there might work really tough jobs. You come home super soiled and really dirty, and sometimes you just need those really, really aggressive laundry detergents to get everything clean. And at the same token, maybe you should try some of the more natural and cleaner ingredients. We use Molly's Suds in my house a lot. It's got safer ingredients, powerful clean. I've found these work really well. I have 2 boys. They are out in the mud often, so they get very dirty, and this is keeping our clothes clean, and it's not gonna have all the terrible ingredients. In fact, it has 4 ingredients, and it doesn't have, I mean, you can say them. I mean, sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate, magnesium sulfate, and unrefined sea salt. That's it. That's all that's in here. Versus look at your Tide or your Cheer or some of those other ones and try and pronounce those highly processed chemicals that you're putting onto your clothes, which then, you never know, can absorb right into your skin, right? So those are 5 things you are not going to find in my house, and they're alternatives. I have lots of these examples that I could use from the grocery store or elsewhere. So if you like this sort of thing and you like seeing the alternatives, let me know down in the comments. I'd be more than happy to do more of these in the future. Until then, thanks for watching. I appreciate your support. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. Got new episodes that come out every Monday and Thursday.